ऑलराइट, वेलकम एवरीवन, वेलकम टू दिस एपिसोड ऑफ निफ्टी की बात। और कर रहे हैं निफ्टी की बात, जो कि 24,800 पे इस समय हम लोगों को दिखाई दे रहा है। इट हैज बीन मतलब लास्ट वीक भी जब हम बात कर रहे थे तो ऐसा लग रहा है कि जहां पे छोड़ के गए थे और जो बोल के गए थे एग्जैक्टली वहीं पर से ही पिकअप कर रहे हैं। आई थिंक लास्ट वीक का कॉन्वर्सेशन था कि 25,000 के अराउंड थे, एंड जय और राज ने बताया था कि नीचे की तरफ का रास्ता एक बार दिखा सकते हैं थोड़ा डराने के लिए, विच इज व्हाट हैपेंड, एंड देन सिंस देन वी आर वेयर वी आर। आई थिंक लास्ट ईयर भी जयराज आप लोगों का 24,800 वाज व्हाट यू गाइस वर लुकिंग एट, एंड आज भी हम वहीं खड़े हैं। तो क्या माहौल लग रहा है, क्या बन रहा है अभी मार्केट में?
तो हाँ, मैं आपको ये दिखाता हूँ। बेसिकली निफ्टी तो साइडवेज है काफी, बट अगर आप फिनेंशियल निफ्टी देखेंगे विशु, तो ये थोड़ा वीक है लग रहा है, देखो। और बैंक निफ्टी भी अगर आप देखेंगे, ये भी ऊपर से अच्छा खासा नीचे आ रहा है, राइट। निफ्टी अगर आप देखेंगे तो काफी साइडवेज है, कुछ है ही नहीं, मतलब मूवमेंट ही नहीं है, राइट। एंड अगर आप ब्रॉडर मार्केट देखेंगे, हम एफएनओ में मिड कैप सिलेक्ट निफ्टी को देखते हैं। ये देखो अच्छा खासा डाउन है। तो मैं ये कहने जा रहा हूँ विशु, कि निफ्टी को छोड़कर बाकी सब में वीकनेस दिख रही है, राइट। सो अगर बाकी सब में वीकनेस दिख रही है निफ्टी को छोड़कर विशु, तो आई थिंक दैट ये एक्सपायरी या तो आज निफ्टी की नीचे होगी या तो नेक्स्ट वीक नीचे हो जाएगी। वो पॉसिबिलिटी तो वो देख के लग रहा है। हाउएवर एक रेंज जरूर बनी हुई है निफ्टी में विशु, मतलब ये डिनाई नहीं कर सकता है कोई कि निफ्टी एक रेंज में है तो ऊपर भी ये रेंज के आ सकता है। मतलब सी देयर इज ऑलवेज टू साइड ऑफ द कॉइन, राइट, एंड बोथ द साइड इज सेम इज डिफिकल्ट। So it's generally opposite only, right? Now, if it is opposite, then of course it can come up. But looking at the other markets, I mean other indices, it seems the possibility of a downside is higher. And if the possibility of a downside is higher, Vishnu, then for today, the strategy which I would recommend to the traders, okay, at least for today's, for the FNO expiry, can be on the bearish side. Okay, so we can expect one can either enter into a bear put spread. Okay, the margin requirement here would be 76,000. Okay, wherein one can buy 24,800 put and at 18 rupees approximately, and sell 24,750 put at 12 rupees. Okay, we are at 800, so the cost is just 6 points. Okay, and the profit would be 44 points. That is the one strategy which one can do for today. If the other indices are down, Nifty may come down and expire below 24,000. What will your break even be? It will be 24,794, and the gain would be 44 points, which is good enough. Okay. Now, if someone doesn't want to do this, okay, I mean, 6 points risk is something which one would buy an option and pay. Okay. There is also put front spread, which we were discussing among our team. So if you are buying, say, 24,800 call put and selling to 24,750 put, then rather you are getting money. Instead of paying, you are getting money. So apart, you are paying 16 and you are getting 22. So here you are getting 6 points. If market doesn't come down, you are getting 6 points, right? But if market comes down, you should, then you are safe only until here, until 24,700. Below 24,700, the loss starts. If someone wants to reduce the risk, what one can do is, because there is a credit spread here also, so you can buy 750 put and sell 700 puts too. So here you will get 5 rupees. Here you are safe till 650, not 700, but until 650. The margin requirement would be around 3,20,000 for this. So why bearish strategy? The bearish strategy reason is that the other indices are in the red or under pressure. So to expect that Nifty goes 25,000 from here seems difficult, but then, as I said, every coin has two sides, so it can go. It doesn't mean that IT goes strong goes up strongly, then Nifty might go to 859 and you never know. Because 50 point is not much now. Is 50 point is, I mean, so half a percent is also 150, 125 points. 50 point is half than that, maybe even less. Excuse me. So that can happen. But then weighing more on the bearish side, because of this reason. Now, alternatively, if someone is bullish and looking out for a credit spread on the upside, because we know that upside is also capped. I mean, it's not that something wherein Nifty is going to 25,100 right now. It seems difficult. Looking at the OI, so one can do call front spread as well. So on call front spread, basically you buy 850 and you sell 900. So it's like you're paying 25 points. Now you're buying at 13.45 and you're selling at 12.5. So paying 1 rupee. The spread has gone here. Trade spread has gone, is still debit. You can wait for that. But your loss will only start beyond 950. 950 and 25,000 expecting expiry also. But if it closes at 900, you are getting 3,700. So loss is nothing, like no profit, no loss, but otherwise you'll get 3,700 if it goes up. So you can do this also. I mean, that's fine. So these are the strategies which one can do for today. Now for next week. Next week, what can be done? Next week, see, I think that it's a monthly expiry. When it can remain sideways again like this week. I mean, who would have thought that it would spend this entire week like this? When you see last 2 days, I mean, amidst this war, there is no reaction despite this huge up and down in crude oil price also. Still, I mean, crude commodities are moving up and down. I mean, you see, look at silver, you look at gold, or not even gold, but look at silver, you look at crude, getting some moves. But index is where we are not getting any moves. Okay. So next week, if you get this breakout on either directional, okay, up or down. I mean, if war doesn't happen and everyone says that, okay, fine, we are okay now, stop. There is a possibility that, thereafter market goes to where it started the downtrend from. Maybe even beyond that. Okay, because short positions or FIFI are already there in index futures. And they are to the level that, if there is a short covering, good enough short covering, then market can definitely, surpass this level. Now, can we do a long strangle here? Does it make sense? Let us see. This is for next week. Now, if you buy 25,200 call issue here, it will cost you around 52 rupees. I'm talking for next week, which is a huge range. I'm not talking for tomorrow. Now we have entered 26 June. Today's is done, the expiry which we discussed. So getting it around 52 rupees, 400 points up from here. So 400 points down because that is 26,400. If the range breaks down, 26,400 put would be costlier than this for sure. 60 rupees. 8 rupees costlier. That is 50. So you're getting this at 102 rupees. 60 and 52. Sorry, 112 rupees. You're getting this at 112. If you can take a risk of 112 rupees, fine issue. But if you're not able to take a risk of 112 rupees, considering that the lot size is big, see, I'll tell you what is the margin requirement for this. If you're doing a long strangle, the margin requirement, okay, I did not select the correct expiry. See, simple. The margin requirement will be what? It is the premium that you are paying. So rather I do it like this only. Rather than 112 into 8,400. And which is your maximum loss also. Because you are buying both for it. Right? You are not selling it. Right, Vishu? So this is what you can do. If you have a stop loss in mind that, okay, I cannot lose more than 4,000 and all, you can place the stop loss. Otherwise, the profit can be unlimited, because if it goes anywhere beyond these strikes, I think there has to be 200 points to 400 points. I think it should be 400 points now. And breaking 24,400 and going to 24 would be very easy. I mean, it will not be that difficult, because market has run up now from 21,750 the low to 25,200 plus levels. So there has been a decent recovery after falling from 26,300. Then breaking 24,400 and going down should be a smooth thing. and even for that matter, going up. I mean, after that, if things are okay, obviously, if it can go to 24, at least it on the upside, it can go to 20 for 25, 600 probably, if not full. Right. And in that case, someone is looking for, selling the options also to reduce the risk. Let us check that whether that makes sense. That reduces risk. On a Nifty, if you're buying this and if you're selling, say if you're selling 300 points up also 25, 500. Okay, then you are getting 15 points here. And likewise, if you're selling 24, 100, you're getting 30 points there. So 30 and 15 is 45. So out of 112 issues, if I minus 45, I have to pay 67. That is my max loss. So now 67 into 75 I do, then I have come down from 8400 to 5000. 5000 risk is what you are taking if there is a big move either side. Okay. And your maximum profit will be what? The maximum profit will be, so now it will be capped. It cannot be unlimited. But if you are thinking that how is going to be unlimited on the upside, it's capped only upside. I don't see only beyond 24, 400, 500. Then 233 points is what you get. 233 into 75 against 5000. So risk reward is decent. 1 is to 3.5. Giving you a short strategy right now for the next week amidst this war and all geopolitical tensions. As I said, every coin has two sides, so it can happen. Either it will break out or it will not break. Just like that. It is always right or wrong, up or down, but there is also sideways there. If it remains sideways, see, if it goes up or down, you manage that. That is one part of the point, either. But here, I would not be taking that call. I mean, it's difficult to take that call that markets will remain here itself for the next week. When the geopolitical tensions are going on, volatility is low. If that escalates, markets bounce. If volatility is low, then war doesn't escalate. There is a chance of a short covering because the IVs are down already and there are a lot of shorts in systems. Um, there is a chance. So hence I recommended long iron butterfly, long iron condor for next week. Right, and if you don't want to keep downside protected, then as I said, the cost was what 112. 112 minus upside you want to keep just protected, then it will be this cost 97. Okay, and downside you will be getting unlimited profit. Upside you will be just getting then 203 points, 203 into 75. So you'll be getting 15,000 instead of 17,000. But downside you have a unlimited profit. And you have increase your cost now. So the cost now you have reduced your risk a bit from 8400 to 7300 approximately. 1100 points आपने कम कर दिया. Because you just sold call option, you did not sell put option. So you kept the put side open. Then if it comes down, I get unlimited profit. Upside anyway, which is not going to be that cheerful as if India has won the war. It's not like that, right? So maybe with global markets, if we go up and then we see profit booking, then it is limited. So we just sell call and not put. The downside, if it doesn't happen, if it escalates, you have unlimited profit. So वहां पे आपका break even जल्दी हो जाएगा नीचे में. But maybe any which ways will make profit. So that's what it is. I've given you alternates just because here. And see, as I said, that we have discussed Fin Nifty, Bank Nifty, and Midcap Nifty, Select Nifty. Sorry. So there things look as of today negative. Hence, I'm not selling a put. After buying a put, I'm just selling a call. If things are negative, it's going to come down. Then why should I be selling a strike or an option wherein I think the trend could be going forward? So that's called a broken wing strategy. That is also what you can do. So wings you can create, or if you don't want to create wings for next week, then 8400 is what the I cannot be selling options in this kind of a scenario. A naked selling or giving short straddle. See, giving short iron condor or short iron butterfly also has a limited risk and reward only. So someone wants to do that, someone can do that also. But the one who has a view that is going to remain this way. If Raj has a view, you have a view, or any audience has a view, हाँ इधर ही रहेगा. मुझे नहीं लगता कि इधर और भी एक हफ्ता कुछ होगा. Anyone can go right, but it's about the strategy and the risk. So guessing whether war will stop today or tomorrow is not that easy, right? Yeah, Vishnu.
Vishnu, am I audible?
Yes, you are. What are your thoughts?
So, Vishnu, last time when we talking about the markets, we discussed towards the end that Israel-Iran tension that might inflate the problems, and that may come down as a pressure point for overall market. And while Nifty per se hasn't reacted that way, but if you look at the mid cap, I think that is mid cap and small cap particularly, that has come down by almost 5% from its highs. So, and going ahead also, I don't see that there is going to be any immediate respite in that volatility. So while our volatility index has declined because our headline index, that is Nifty, that has remained largely range bound, very in a narrow range. But when it comes to the market, I still believe there might be some pain, which we may see in the next week, and that's why, like Jay said, कि हाँ कुछ तो डायरेक्शन मूव आ सकता है. अब उसके कई रीजन है. फर्स्ट कि दिस इज गोना बी इवेंटफुल वीक, जो भी हमारी टेंशन चल रही है, दैट इज वन. सेकंड, this is last week of the monthly settlement, and normally we have seen some directional move coming into the derivatives monthly settlement week. And third, this is the quarter ending week also. Well, 30th is on Monday, but if you look at from the last quarterly basis, so it's the flows which either inflows or outflows, we have seen those flows coming in the last week of the quarter. So what we believe that there might be a directional move. And when it comes to short positions, yes, there are shorts. FIs are holding almost 1 lakh net short, and apart from just a day of short covering post on the day of RBI monetary policy, we haven't seen any meaningful short covering from there, and despite Nifty moving towards 25,100 odd levels. So those shorts are still intact. So in case of short covering, what I believe, once Nifty is able to surpass 25,000 to 25,050 odd levels, then perhaps that short covering trend might resume, and we might see much higher levels even in a week itself. But until unless those levels are not surpassed, like I said last week also, the market seems to be more on sell on rise than buy on decline. So even now, I believe the same. Until unless 2550 or 25,000 levels are not taking out in a prominent way, one shouldn't get into the only long bias. It's still either the sideways or the negative market. And particularly when we are looking at the large cap names, so both private sector heavyweights, Reliance, IT stocks, so they have tested their highest call base and they started reverting from there. While private sector names have also come down to their support levels, but that doesn't mean that we are going to witness some sharp up move there. So until unless those levels or the hurdles are not surpassed, it's better to remain on the sideline than going long in the market. That is one. And Jay rightly said, keep by naked option selling. This is not the week when one should look at for the naked option selling. Now coming to the today's market, what I believe that normally one strike is holding more than 5 crore shares. It's getting pretty difficult कि आप उस strike को breach करो. बट जब वो ब्रीच होता है तो एक बड़े मूव आते हैं। एंड वी हैव सीन इन द पास्ट कि हम लोगों ने, जय इफ आई एम नॉट रॉन्ग, एक बार 7 करोड़ शेयर थे एक स्ट्राइक में, एंड व्हेन दैट हैज बीन ब्रोकन द निफ्टी स्लाइस्ड बाय ऑलमोस्ट 200 पॉइंट्स फ्रॉम दोस लेवल्स। सो अगेन, आप अगर प्राइसिंग के टर्म्स में भी देखोगे तो कॉल प्राइसिंग आर मच हायर देन द पुट प्राइसेस। So people are still having that positive outlook despite 1% small cap is down, or the mid cap is down by almost a percentage point, but your Nifty is flat, and people are expecting that there will be a bounce back. So yes, there might be a bounce back, but overall, if I have to go by just the data points, तो ठीक है, मैं अभी आपका पुट ऑप्शन नहीं ले सकता, या फिर जय ने जैसे बोला कि आप जो है बेयर स्प्रेड कर ले, वो ठीक है, बट once this 5 crore shares they starts running away, then perhaps it could be a day of direction move, and that to a very significant direction move. Perhaps a move below 780 or 760 पर से हमें जो है एक नया ट्रेंड, डाउन ट्रेंड इंट्राडे में देखने को मिल सके। तो ठीक है, अभी आपका पुट ऑप्शन आई थिंक दैट इज ट्रेडिंग अराउंड 15 रुपीज, सो लेट्स से अराउंड 23, 24, 26 is the VWAP of the day. Beyond 26 we might see this 26 doubling to 52 or more. But until unless those levels are not broken, or the VWAP levels are not going to break, we wouldn't recommend कि आप जो है naked buy करें. In that scenario, like Jay has recommended कि आप एक bear spread बनाएं या bear ratio बनाएं, और bear ratio भी बनाएं तो थोड़ा लंबा बनाएं, ऐसा नहीं कि 50 पॉइंट में अपनी कॉस्ट कम करने के लिए बना रहे हैं, नहीं, मतलब ₹1 की कॉस्ट में आज जो है नॉर्मली हम लोग वी डोंट सी बेयर स्प्रेड फॉर्मिंग इन जस्ट ₹1 और 50 पैसा, राइट जय? आज तो 50 पैसे की कॉस्टिंग में हमारा बेयर स्प्रेड भी बन रहा है, रेशियो स्प्रेड। तो एक तरीके से हाँ,
क्रेडिट स्प्रेड में बन रहा
कॉस्ट भी नहीं,
रेदर आई वुड से
यस,
पुट इज गेटिंग इट क्रेडिट स्प्रेड एंड कॉल इज जस्ट हाफ अ पैसे, आधा पैसा, सॉरी 50 पैसे, इट्स टू लो।
हाँ, तो दैट इज टू लो। तो ठीक है, मैं इसीलिए कह रहा हूँ ना कि अगर ये 5 करोड़ का शेयर अगर ब्रीच करता है ना, तो वो क्रेडिट, फिर तो मार्केट में 150 पॉइंट सॉर्ट ऑफ डिक्लाइन आ जाएगा। आई वुडंट बी सरप्राइज, क्योंकि इतने बड़े बेस नहीं ब्रेक होते, वो वंस इन ए ब्लू मून टाइप की सिनारियो होता है। आई वोंट से 6 सिग्मा, बट एटलीस्ट 3 सिग्मा इवेंट है कि आपका 5.5 करोड़ का वाई बेस आपका ब्रीच हो रहा हो, लेकिन जब ब्रीच होगा तो देयर विल बी अ गुड डायरेक्शन। तो लेट्स वेट फॉर दैट, ईदर वेट फॉर दैट मूवमेंट, और इफ यू वांट टू प्ले बिफोर हैंड, देन इट्स बेटर कि आप जो है एक रेशियो स्प्रेड वो भी थोड़े से गैप के साथ बनाएं। So that is something which I would like to say about the Nifty intraday. Now coming to the sectoral outlook. So see, in last 5 days particularly, so if you look at when IT was coming down, your bank was supporting the market, or some other sector is coming into the picture which were able to hold Nifty. But अगर मैं प्रॉपर देखूं कि और मुझसे कोई पूछे कि हाँ आपको कौन सा सेक्टर अच्छा लग रहा है, so I don't have the answer for that. In the last week, if somebody would have asked, I would have said pharma. Seriously, pharma or the non-ferrous metal, and I have said so. But then Trump has come and said, okay, we are coming with the pharma tariffs. और even in the metal, जो escalated geopolitical tension आ गई, उससे metals में भी problem आ गई। तो while Nifty में आपको कोई पेन नहीं दिख रहा है, but across the board, all the sectors they are showing signs of weakness. So as of now, that's why I'm saying it's better to wait. And I'm talking from the traders' point of view, not the intraday jobbers, but the traders' point of view who want to take a 5-day to 15-day sort of view in the market. So it's better to wait for the call basis to be surpassed, or wait for the momentum to come. क्या हो रहा है कि एक दिन आता है और अगले दिन वही फेल हो जाता है। तो जब इस तरीके का सिनारियो हो, और when we have uncertainty in our mind, so it's better to when you are not sure, मतलब थोड़ा तो श्योर होना चाहिए ना, आपका व्यू गलत जा सकता है, बट देयर हैज टू बी सम कॉन्फिडेंस इन योर व्यू, एंड व्हेन यू डोंट हैव दैट कॉन्फिडेंस, इट्स बेटर टू सिट असाइड. So as of now, I would like myself to sit aside, and I am doing that for the last 3 or 4 days. कि मुझे नहीं क्लियर हो रहा है कि क्या व्यू हो सकता है, क्या मार्केट में किस तरीके से मूवमेंट आ सकता है, तो इट्स फाइन कि आपको क्लैरिटी नहीं है, इट्स बेटर टू स्टे अवे. बाकी एक जो चीज इंपॉर्टेंट है वो आज के लिए इंट्राडे बेसिस पे हम लोग देख रहे हैं कि आपका इंडिया विक्स जो कंटिन्यूसली ऑन, मतलब क्योंकि आपका निफ्टी काफी रेंज बाउंड था, तो आपका पिछले पूरा हफ्ता धीमे धीमे डिक्लाइन किया, और आज का जो इसने डेलो मारा है दैट इज अराउंड 13.7, और वहां से लगातार ऊपर जा रहा है. तो नेक्स्ट वीक के ऑप्शंस भी धीमे धीमे, अगर somebody tracking them. So they are increasing. They are not coming down like this week's option. So perhaps there is going to be a directional move, and one need to be relatively on a safer side. And I would go long only if Nifty is surpassing 25,000 levels or sustaining beyond those levels. Until unless, it's better to stay on the sidelines.
Right.
अच्छा, एक चीज और है, कल मैं बस एक ही पॉइंट और ऐड करता हूँ कि कल भी एक हमें वोलेटाइल मूव मिलना चाहिए. द रीजन बीइंग टुमारो वी हैव दिस फुट्सी रीबैलेंसिंग. जैसे एमएससीआई की होती है वैसे ही फुट्सी की होती है. वो आपका लास्ट मंथ हुआ था, ये आपका कल होगा. So because of that, we might see some good move in the last 45 minutes of the trade. But like we have said earlier also कि डेरिवेटिव एक्सपायरी वाले दिन और ये वाले दिन जब ये होता है, उन दिनों के चार्ट्स को इग्नोर कर देना चाहिए, उन दिनों के प्राइस मूवमेंट को इग्नोर कर देना चाहिए. सो दैट इज समथिंग व्हिच आई वुड लाइक टू से कि परहैप्स हमारा जो मार्केट थमा हुआ है, संभला हुआ है, और पर्टिकुलरली निफ्टी, दैट कुड बी बिकॉज ऑफ दैट. अदरवाइज just like your mid cap or small cap which are 5 to 6% down, Nifty could have easily be down by 2 to 3% by now in this week. Yes, Jay, Vishu.
Right. Awesome. So that was very insightful. Thank you so much for those insights, Jay Raj. Final concluding thoughts ले लेते हैं फिर आज के session के. If anything else to add, Jay?
Sure. See, Vishu, the concluding thoughts will be that honestly, from the historical or past experience or historical evidences, one thing which I would like to say that preempting in this kind of a scenario can be risky. I mean, on the short side. Hence, that's the reason. I mean, short option side, I'm saying that to naked. Okay, hence, I and Raj, both of us, rather advocated more about long options, or probably long options with the wings. Probably it's to reduce the cost as well. I mean, that would basically may help you, and that can have a limited downside if you go wrong, but that can have unlimited upside if the event plays out. Okay, during the event. Generally, what honestly we have observed also is that the premiums are too high, the VIX is high, IVs are too high. That's not the case this time around. So one can think that slowly, then hence because of that this is a non-event, and that is what IVs or the VIX is actually telling you, but you are not able to accept it, and you are reading it other way. Okay, no, it's not like that. That can be one thing, because see. If you just look at the data, you might feel that that's what India VIX is telling you. IVs are telling you that बाजार कहीं नहीं जा रहा, वहीं तो है. आप necessarily क्यों सोच रहे हो? अगर IVs ऊपर है, मतलब कि इवेंट में कुछ आने वाला है इसलिए IVs ऊपर है. इवेंट में कुछ नहीं आने वाला इसलिए IVs नीचे है. See, if that could be the case, then the risk reward should definitely meet. The risk reward is not meeting it. Okay, so if I'm not getting the risk reward on the short side, see, basically when the IVs are too high and ahead of the event, if you are actually trading a non-directional strategy, the probability of success is higher because the IVs are too high. And if it normalize, the premiums basically fall quite drastically and make money despite there being a move either side of a lesser percentage points. If it is up by say 2% or down by 2%, but the IVs were too high, despite that kind of a 2% move issue, up or down, you still make money in a non-directional strategy because the IVs were too high. Okay, now in this kind of a scenario, the IVs are down and the premiums are down. Okay, and if that 2, 3, 4% kind of a move comes, then the IVs may start expanding, and because of which, if you have even done a non-directional strategy looking at the IVs, then despite of a less move, there is a chance that IVs may now start expanding and you're still not making money in a non-directional strategy. Right. So, I mean, just imagine the one who might have done a short straddle today will be making money. Just a short straddle today, intraday will be making money. Okay, morning done and just holding it, making money. But one who has done it for the next week is still not making money despite market being here. Okay. The reason is that there has been a move or the IV is basically going up in the next week. So all I can say is that yes, VIX IVs are the indicator, or they give you the insight where the market may head. VIX at the lower levels may give you good comfort, maybe for a teji, that is an upside, or maybe of a non-event. But then we are anticipating that the risk could increase based on these lower IVs and the premiums could expand. So that's our assumption attached to it. Hence, not recommending the non-directional short strategies, rather recommending a strategy wherein there could be a move. That's my rationale, my thoughts behind this. So that will be the final concluding advice that, friends, it might be tempting looking at the weeks that कहीं नहीं जाना बाजार शायद non-event ही हो, but it has a lot of risk during this kind of an event. So just don't do that. At least if you're doing it, do it with the wings.
Absolutely. Raj, final thoughts?
VIX or the Nifty is not the true reflection of our portfolio. So one thing we need to keep in mind, okay, Nifty is range bound doesn't mean our portfolio is not declining, or vice versa also. So right now, the panic, not exactly the panic, but there is some selling pressure which we are witnessing across the board. So perhaps there is something, okay, market 8% गिरता है, चलो buy कर लेते हैं. So that is true for SIP investors. But when it comes to a trading or short-term investing, I don't think that works every time. And post RBI policy, banking has continuously underperformed. Banking holds 35% weight in Nifty. So one need to be a bit cautious in the market. Just because market has moved up by 3,000 points, so perhaps we are in a more of a consolidation mode. ऐसा नहीं हो सकता कि आप लगातार वन वे ही चलते जाएं. There will be some retracement even on the lower side also. So just keep in track with the your levels particularly. I would say those are very important thing in the current market scenario. कि ठीक है, आपके लेवल टूटते हैं, आपके स्टॉप लॉस जाते हैं, देन प्लीज एग्जिट, डोंट कीप ऑन होल्डिंग. किसी स्टॉक से प्यार नहीं होना चाहिए. आपके स्टॉप लॉस अगर लग रहे हैं ट्रेडिंग में, तो प्लीज ट्राई टू एग्जिट दोस पोजीशंस एंड देन बी क्लियर इन योर थॉट कि ओके एग्जैक्टली व्हाट एग्जैक्टली योर व्यू, एंड देन ओनली टेक एक्शन. Just because market has come down doesn't mean it will not come down further, and it's vice versa thought also. But right now, what we believe that there might be some more pressure in the our portfolio, even if Nifty doesn't move. What we believe that there will be some movement in Nifty as well next week. But let's suppose nothing happens in Nifty, but still our portfolio need to be watched out.
Absolutely. Well, that was it for this week. Thank you so much, Jay and Raj, for sharing your insights. We'll be back next week, same time. And of course, once again, a disclaimer, this is a recorded session. We recorded roughly half an hour to an hour before it is telecasted at 1 p.m. on YouTube. So please understand that this is all for educational purpose. This is so you understand how trades are taken depending on the market behavior. Do not try to replicate these trades which are suggested. These are not recommendations. These are more for your understanding. How do you develop recommendations? How does ICICI Direct research team develops recommendations, seeing the data, seeing the market? So please do your own due diligence and take this as a learning and not a direct recommendation to be implemented as is. Thank you so much once again, everyone. I hope you have a great expiry ahead. Thank you for watching.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you everyone for listening to us.
Investment in securities market are subject to market risk. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.